So you can see right now the MMDA are issuing a ticket to this one for illegal parking. Perhaps he's waiting for somebody, perhaps he's waiting for passengers, but right now the van is empty, so they'll just get a ticket for illegal parking. And let's go take a look at what's going on with this one over here. So I just asked them now what's wrong with this one, and they said it's out of line. They're trying to explain that the issue isn't coding right now, it's out of line.
Sige. Ito nga ito. Pinaliliwanag ko sa'yo, anong ruta mo?
Kasi yung...
Anong ruta mo?
EDSA nga, sir.
Oh, EDSA. Asan ka?
Dito nga kami, sir, sa Bonifacio.
Anong violation mo?
Kasi hindi kami dumaan dito, sir, dahil kasi...
Kaya pwede dumaan dito dahil bayo EDSA kayo. Oh.
Kaya nga, sir, nag-limit kami.
Kaya nga, hindi pwede ispisyon.
Dapat bumalik kayo.
Dapat bumalik kayo na EDSA.
Dapat bumalik kayo.
So you can see right now the street clearing operations group is trying to push back these market vendors so that there's a bit of a sidewalk. This area is pretty congested, to be honest. It's even just like driving down the road is quite difficult. Of course there's like trash just randomly in the middle of the road, and that's obviously an obstruction for traffic. Well, it's just trash everywhere basically. You'd think that at the very least you could try and maintain the area if you're a vendor here, but thankfully the SCOG team will try and take care of this. Of course, without being here every day, it's hard to make a long-term difference. That's where you'd really need the local guys, the barangay guys, to step in and probably try and maintain it. You can see they're also pushing back these ones here. The problem is if they just roll it up, as soon as the MMDA leave, they're going to unroll it again. So you can see right now they're just having a conversation with the barangay guys who normally maintain this area, or maintain this area every day. Probably just, you know, asking if they could just do a little bit more, try and keep the sidewalks clear as much as possible. It's difficult because, you know, the area is really overrun, and I do understand that, but at the same time, you know, the MMDA can't go here every day, so they're really relying on action at the local level. Tri-score on EDSA, and he's going after him, yes! And you can see this is one of the tri-scores that they call. They basically made it come back, and it's now being impounded. So you can see they've already taken 2 tricycles that were left unattended, blocking the road. So they're just taking the roof off so that they can actually fit it in their truck without damaging it. And you can see there's another one up there going into that truck. Well, good news and bad news. The good news is that the whole area is clear. The bad news is that there's no work for them to do, but that's, you know, that's a good problem. Having no work because the area is already clear, that's a good result. So you can see right now the enforcer's just explaining that this is the sidewalk, and if you block that, it's considered illegal parking. So it doesn't matter if you're in the road, even blocking the sidewalk is actually enough already. And that's actually the first obstruction for this whole road. We've walked this whole sidewalk. It was actually quite nice to be able to do that. It's only until this point that we finally hit an obstruction. So yeah, it's interesting because you really do feel the difference when you can use the sidewalk the whole road rather than going up, down, up, down, up, down. It's actually quite a nice experience as a pedestrian. The driver is saying they don't have a license. If they don't hand over a license, it'll be towed away. So the driver's now gone to get his license because he's realised that if he doesn't give his license so they can issue the ticket and let him move the car from obstructing the sidewalk, they're going to have to tow it away. So now he's going to go get his license, and it will just be a simple ticket, move the car, and that's it. They've been waiting for a few minutes now, and the driver still hasn't reappeared with the driver's license. I think if he doesn't appear soon, they're going to have to just take the car because they don't have time to stand around waiting for someone to produce their license all day. So someone else has appeared to produce themselves as the driver. They'll take the ticket, move the car, and onto the next one. So you can see right now behind me, they're trying to explain that you shouldn't really be blocking the road, you shouldn't be blocking the sidewalks. And this is a problem, it just keeps spreading and spreading and spreading, and before you know it, nobody can actually get around the city anymore because there's just market stalls everywhere or vendors everywhere. And you know, one of the things I hear are, these people are just trying to make money, they're just trying to sell a little bit. But the thing is, if they weren't here, people would go to the proper supermarket, and then the supermarket would expand and they would hire more staff. So it's not really like creating jobs or creating income, it's just taking it from one place where it's structured and legal and then dumping it on the street where it becomes a problem for everyone. And here's a good example why you want the sidewalks clear, not just for people walking but also for those in wheelchairs and other people with disabilities. You can see right now they're explaining to the guard that they can't let people park like this because you can see that truck is overhanging onto the sidewalk, and so is this one here. And it's very easy to know in this location because you can see the line here on the floor. So they're going to give them a certain amount of time for the drivers to appear and move it with just a ticket, otherwise they'll get towed away. Now in the case of this one, if he just moved forward, he could actually be parked legally without blocking this. So it's a simple fix really. If you look at this van here, he is pushed right back and he's managed to park legally. So no problems with this van, but the rest of these cars, there's a problem. Right now they're a little bit upset because the tow crew are refusing to take away this vehicle. Sometimes they are a little bit picky about which vehicles they want to take, but when that happens they basically get banned from the operations, and potentially they could lose their accreditation from the MMDA if they don't have a valid reason for not taking it. Sometimes it's just because they think they won't get their money back. For instance, if they suspect it's abandoned, they might refuse to take it. But the thing is, the MMDA is not here to make money. I know the tow trucks are private companies, but ultimately their job is to clear the streets. And you see they're putting blocks to try and make it a little bit smoother. Well, it kind of worked. Probably the best that they could have hoped for. They're now dealing with these two cars here which are parked blocking the sidewalk. Again, this is a case of misleading lines because it makes it look like you can park here, but in reality you can't park most cars without blocking the sidewalk. The first one there, the driver's appeared, so he'll just be given a ticket. This one, we're not sure if there's a driver. If there's no driver, it will get towed away. It looks like the driver for this one's just appeared, so again it will just be a ticket instead of being towed. You can see they're now waiting for the driver of this one. If he doesn't appear, it will be towed away. They'll just have it ready just in case. Some people think that if they see the towing gear, they're going to tow it immediately, but that's not necessarily true. Sometimes they just want to get it in place so that if the driver doesn't appear in time, they can, you know, hook it up quickly and get onto the next one. And it looks like they've just stopped two riders for no helmets. So I guess they'll be given a ticket for that. I literally, every time, I can't help but laugh when they say, but I'm just going there. It's the same thing every time. And even after all this time, there's still no driver for this one. So I guess he must be busy, or I don't know, far away perhaps. Maybe taking a nap, but they're gonna put it up now. Right now they're issuing a ticket to this vehicle which parked on the sidewalk. It looks like they're also checking out this car that's parked on the sidewalk. They're just checking now if there's any driver inside. Just give them a chance, but if they don't come out in time, they will get towed away. Still no drivers appeared, so they're going to hook it up now